Welcome to Ditch the Imposter. I felt really called to stand up to deliver this today. So here I am, just standing up in my kitchen, delivering this beautiful training for you. I want to ask you a question before we get stuck in. Have you ever felt like an imposter? I would imagine that you probably have somewhere along the line, even if you're not really fully aware of it. So we're going to dig into the training today. We're going to cover a bit about who I am, why I'm qualified to deliver this training for you, my experiences along the way, but also the how to move through it, how to ditch it, how to not let it derail what you're doing, how you're showing up, what you're here to create, and the vision and the business and the impact that you're here for. Because I have absolutely felt like an imposter, and it's been popping up more and more recently as I step up my game and up level my business. Yesterday was very tricky. We'll get back into that there a little bit later. I am going to revisit, but I only decided to deliver this training yesterday because of the way that I was feeling and because of some conversations that I had with another lady who also felt very similar. She told me that she struggles with imposter syndrome, and it was one of the things that was really just standing in her way. So I just felt really called in my body to be able to deliver this training for you today. So I wanted to create a training around it because, as I said, I know a lot of women who are dealing with it, who have dealt with it. But also, like, more than that, I feel like it's not really talked about as much as it should be. I'm going to use the word should. I wrote could in my notes, but I think should be. I think like we need to just like normalize these things, right? Because when we speak about it, when we vocalize it, when we tell other people how we feel, and they then say, oh yeah, like I've been feeling this too, or I've been feeling this, and then all of a sudden it's just like like you feel as though you can breathe again and you can move through it so much faster. So from my own experience and from talking to many women about it, it's a feeling that we always feel in our bodies first. We experience it in our bodies before we experience it or know what it even is in our minds, before we even kind of name it. And we feel it in our bodies first, and that signal goes to our brain. But it feels like this like uncomfortable feeling that maybe feels a bit like a familiar feeling, or a feeling that, I don't know, like you feel just like maybe you're out of place, that you don't belong. I've had an experience of like that really recently, which again I will share with you in a second. It's that feeling that we have maybe kind of misled someone or other people about our abilities, and we don't deserve to be here. So it's almost like or like perhaps, it's not about like it's not so much that what we said about like our degree of talent, but what we didn't say. So it's that underlying like we're just waiting to be found out. So I think of it as like not owning actually how good you are, not understanding, because there's a lot of doubt around it. So before we go into more of the kind of mechanics of that, I want you to just understand a little bit more about my backstory. So for those of you who don't know, I was bullied severely at school for years. For years, as though I felt as though I didn't really belong anywhere, and I still have a sense of that now. I didn't feel as though I fit. I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel good enough. And it's such a common feeling for so many different reasons, of this just feeling not good enough. And so by the age of 29, I created a really successful business. My first successful business. This was a clay business. It was amazing. And it took off. And within just a few months, I was matching my full-time salary as a marketing executive for a publishing company. Just a few short months, I had managed to match my salary, which was amazing. And I was just selling £14 keepsakes. And so, cutting a long story short, I quit my job when I went on maternity leave just 1 year later, and I've been self-employed ever since. This was 10 years ago now. That business gave me the opportunity to hide away. I didn't realize that's what I was doing at the time. I thought that, I'm just going to check this is recording. Yes, it is. I was happily in my studio. I had gone through birth of my first child. I didn't really have a maternity leave, which is ironic because they only really started the business so that I had money during my maternity leave, but I ended up just working the whole time to be able to afford not to be able to go back to work. So many of you may be able to relate to that. Then I, went through a few years, and then I got pregnant just before COVID hit. And then my business just exploded. Just went crazy. I was making rainbows, and obviously rainbows was the theme of COVID. And so it just went insane. But I was heavily pregnant, throughout the months. I stopped working in August of 2020, closed my business for maternity leave. My baby was due like 4 weeks later, I think, but I was absolutely manic, and I wanted to have at least 2 weeks rest before she came. So I closed my business, and she was 2 weeks late, of course, always. And then I opened it up, and again, 6 weeks after she was born, and I had this idea that I would open it for like a weekend and just see what happened. And I literally had to close it within 15 minutes. I had sold so much. I think I'd made about $2,000 in the space of 15 minutes, which was just like unheard of. Like, I was blown away. But the reason I'm telling you this is because it was really successful. Like, that snippet alone, I was in shops up and down the UK. I was in multiple blogs. I had been featured in magazines. And I remember going to like an Etsy. So I was on Etsy. I went to like an Etsy training thing or a conference or something, and I felt so inadequate. Like, I did not belong to be there, not belong to be there. Yeah. Like, this imposter just swept over me. Like, who do you think you are? You don't belong here. They're all so much more successful than you. Like, you're not even talented. All of these things that just came running through my head. Obviously, at the time, I didn't know what I know now. I didn't know how to manage it. I didn't know how to work through it. And I just felt awful. And so I think, like, looking back, even though my business was successful, I still told myself that I didn't know what I was doing. The whole 7 years I was doing it solidly. The whole 7 years I told myself I was winging it. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a strategy. I was just winging it. Even though I made the money that I needed to make every single month, plus some, I was just winging it. I was lucky. I remember saying to someone once, like, I just feel like I've just been really lucky with this business. Like, it's just taken off. It's nothing I've done. And I believe that, since those days at school, I have been riddled with self-doubt, and I found it really difficult to recognize that I could actually be good at something. And so that's just one example. I have many more, the most recent being a couple of weeks ago when I was at a retreat. So just really quickly, because obviously this has happened since I've moved into this world. I've been doing this now for 3 years, and it still comes up. So I went to this retreat. It was amazing. I've shared a few times on my Instagram stories or Instagram grid for anyone that watches. And, I was like as high as a kite. Like, went on the drive down there. It was a beautiful sunny day. I drove past Stonehenge, which I've loved for years and years and years. From afar, I've never had the privilege of going. And I drove past, and I was amazed at how close it was. And I was just like, oh, if I can find like a little lay-by over here, I'm going to go and be in there. But there was no lay-by. You have to park miles away and then, I guess, get a bus or something because it's National Trust. I don't know. Anyway, I did not have time. I was already running 20 minutes late to where I was supposed to be. And I was thinking, like, this is going to be great. We're all in it together. We're all doing the same thing. And I got there, and we all got welcomed in. It was lovely. We had Prosecco. We had this beautiful lunch cooked by this private chef, which was just a luxury. And everyone started talking about what they did. And I was just like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like all of the things, like all of the thoughts came flooding back. And I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't be here. I don't belong here. I'm not good enough for this space. Like they're going to find me out. I'm a total fraud. Like all of these things. But it was a feeling. It was a feeling that came first. It was just this uncomfortable, like, get me the fuck out of here feeling. It was strong. It was really, really strong. And I will share with you in a moment how I moved myself through that, because I didn't leave. I could have left. I thought about leaving. I didn't leave. I stayed and I saw it out, and I am so grateful and happy and glad that I did. But the difference between those two examples that I've just given you are, the first example, like I said, I didn't have any idea how to move through it. I just, like, this camera is opposite to me and I'm finding it really, really weird, and like my hand is the other side. Like, oh my God, it's messing up my brain. Anyway, so yeah, I had no idea how to move through it. I felt really small throughout the entire event. Like, not the entire event. Yes, sorry, we're talking about the Etsy one. So the first one, I felt really small throughout the entire event. Didn't really want to be there. And I remember as soon as I left and got in my car to drive home, I just felt this like weight just lift, like, oh my God, relief just to be out of there. And when I look back, it was fun. And I made some friends from being there and just understanding, we're all in this together. We're all creating these small businesses together, and we're all in this like creative community together. And I think had I sort of, been able to use some of these techniques and come back into my body and not be so in my head about it all, I probably could have enjoyed that. Well, I definitely could have enjoyed that a whole lot more. But now I know what to do and I face it straight on. So when I was at the retreat a couple of weeks ago, I felt it coming. And actually, I think the more we kind of did things, so I won't go into the ins and outs of things, but we were doing like a lot of releasing, a lot of understanding of what was going on in our minds. But I could have easily have just let it just be like all of these intrusive thoughts just overtake me like I had in the past. I could have easily have done that. But instead I decided that I was going to call it out. I was going to name it. I was going to work through why it was showing up, where it had come from, where I felt it before, and how I want to feel instead. And I really anchored in that how I wanted to feel instead. And I really actively, when those thoughts came into my head, I actively, not like tried to just ignore them, push them out, but just change them. Like, I do deserve to be here. I wouldn't be here if I didn't deserve to be here. I am good enough, like just reminding myself of what I've achieved and, like all the things. And so I just want to start there. I'm going to share with you some like techniques and things that you can do, because there are quite a few things to do. They're all very simple. They're all very like, oh, actually, I probably already knew that, but I'm not doing it. In some cases it might be like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Like, I'll give that a go. I've never heard of that before. Because I want you to remember that every single thing we do, every thought we have, every behavior is like a pattern, an autopilot behavior that has been running probably for a long, long time. It's not just who we are, though. We can change it. With practice, we can change it. But to change it, it's a decision. How we show up is our choice. It gets to be our choice. I know sometimes it feels like we're so deep in who we are, and that is because we have been rehearsing these thoughts about ourselves for years and years and years. So when we're telling ourselves these thoughts about ourselves, what we're doing is indenting. Think of it like, in your brain, you're just like carving every thought. Every time you have a thought, I don't know how you can see that. Every time you have a thought, you're just carving that grain in your brain even deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Every time you think it, it's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper into your subconscious, into your being. But it's not who you are. It's just something that someone's taught you along the way. someone's taught you, a society, conditioning, generational beliefs that we've got about ourselves, especially women. Like, we have all of these things that we should be a certain way. People expect these certain things from us. And they are just beliefs that are weighing and weighing and weighing on us. But actually, we do have a decision to make. We do have a choice to make, and we can change it. And we change it exactly the same way as we created the first belief in the first place, right? Like, it takes repetition. And that is the hardest thing, because people give up. People think, oh, it's taking too long, or this is really hard, or not, it's not working, because it takes, like, you think how ingrained these thoughts, these beliefs are into our brains, how much more we have to work to be able to get those new beliefs ingrained into our brains too. So it's absolutely possible. We just have to create awareness around it first. So imposter syndrome is this idea that our accomplishments came about not through genuine ability, but the result of having been lucky. So we talked about this before. My experiences of, telling myself that I'm just winging it. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just feel like luck has got me here. And so this might come up for you. My door just slammed. It's very windy here today. This might come up for you in ways that I've already discussed. You might be kind of nodding along and thinking, yeah, I feel the same, or I've experienced something similar. Or it might be things like, why should anyone listen to me? Doesn't everyone know more than I do? I don't know enough. I'm not clever enough. So things like that, etc., etc. Actually wrote etc., etc. Anyway, a lot of imposter syndrome is bred from self-doubt. It's bred from not believing that you are worthy of having the things that you want to have, or not feeling like you are ever going to be good enough to be at the standards of someone else. It's like this perfectionism, like we're striving for perfectionism, even though you're already there, like you're already at this level, but you don't believe it because you're doubting yourself out of it. You don't believe that you're achieving as highly as you are. And so you doubt yourself out of what you're doing. And I believe that social media just amplifies this for us. So if you find like yourself comparing to others in your niche or your industry, and you're thinking like, oh, like they obviously know more than me, or they're better than me because of this and this, or like, oh, I really like how they've done that, but instead of just being like, oh, how could I do something similar or better, you think, like, you're just constantly comparing. And sometimes it can really reinforce this feeling inside of us that we feel fake, or we feel like a fraud. So going back to why I created this training in the first place. So what happened to me yesterday was basically that I spent the day in tears because honestly, like, another month has rolled by and my business isn't where I want it to be. And I feel as though I've done so much, I've grown so much, I've helped my clients, and yet I found myself questioning everything. I found myself questioning my knowledge, my path, my purpose. Is this even meant for me? I had to give my head a really big fucking wobble. Like, I was just like, oh my God. And honestly, I was ready to like just pack it all in, because I feel as though I honestly don't feel like this now. Yesterday, I felt like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know enough. Like, all of these things. There's a butterfly that just went past. All of these things, I just got all into my own head, and I was just like, I'm just going to go and paint in the garden. I'm just going to go and buy 10 massive canvases, and I'm just going to go and lay them all out on my garden. I'm just going to go and roll around and paint and just paint them all day. And I'm just going to sell them, and that'll be my business. And I was like trying to I put everything down. I thought, you know what, this isn't helpful. I'm literally just staring at my screen. I'm just trying to do the things that I am Like, I'm just going through the motions and this isn't helping me right now. So I decided that I wanted to like do some journaling. So I went and sat on the sofa and I was doing a bit of journaling. And I was like, do you know what? I just need to get out of my own head. This is the problem. I'm so in my own head right now. I need to get out of my own head and get back into my body. That was the only way that I was able to shift it. So I did some breathing exercises. I remembered who the fuck I am. And I went to bed and got an early night. Although that was the plan. I went to bed at 9:30 and I just started listening to lots of subliminals and some like meditations and some energy healing and all of the things, because I was just like, I just need to immerse myself in positive things and not like positive thinking. I don't believe in just like, trying to plaster it all over with positive thinking, but just trying to immerse myself in actually what I want, who I am, what I stand for, the mission that I'm on, the impact that I'm here to try and create. Thinking about my language there, not try and create, that I am here to create. This is the other thing. We need to watch our language, right? And that was why I wanted to get an early, this is why I wanted to do the training today. But I also woke up and came on my period this morning. So there was obviously something going on. And I hear there's something to do with like, and I really want to start learning about this stuff, but like Mercury retrograde. I'm really sorry if this is your bag and I've just completely ruined that. But I saw something yesterday and somebody was like, oh no, not another one. I can't handle it. And I started reading it and I was just like, oh my God, this is not what I want to be reading right now. So I just put it away. Anyway, let's get back into this. So I want to read out some statements for you right now, and then we're going to get into the how you can, like, other ways that you can move through this yourself, because again, not everything works for everyone. Some things you might prefer, some things you might think, oh, like that sounds really hard, or that's not for me, or I need to just like, sometimes you just need to feel your way through these different tools to be able to find one that sticks. So I'm going to read you out some statements. I want you to consider how they sit within your body as you hear them. If you've got a piece of pen and paper, actually, it'd be really good if you score them. So from like a 0 would be like they feel really heavy. This feels like so true to who I am right now. And 10 being like, no, that doesn't apply to me. So wherever you sit in between there. So obviously if you've got a really low score at the end, then imposter syndrome is massively weighing on you right now. If you've got a really high score, then there'll be some other things that we can do together instead. So, first statement: I can give the impression that I'm more competent than I really. Let's start that again. I can give the impression that I'm more competent than I really am. So think about that. Where does that sit within the scale of 1 to 10? I can give the impression that I'm more competent than I really am. The next one. When people praise me for something I've accomplished, I'm afraid I won't be able to live up to their expectation of me in the future. When people praise me for something I've accomplished, I'm afraid I won't be able to live up to their expectations of me in the future. I'm afraid people important to me may find out that I'm not as capable as they think I am. I'm afraid people important to me may find out I'm not as capable as they think I am. Sometimes I feel or believe that my success in life or my job has resulted from some kind of error. Sometimes I feel or believe that my success in life or my job has resulted from some kind of error. I often worry about not succeeding with a project or examination, even though others around me have considerable confidence that I will do well. I often worry about not succeeding with a project or examination, even though others around me have considerable confidence that I will do well. People tend to believe I am more competent than I really am. People tend to believe I am more competent than I really am. Sometimes I am afraid I will be discovered for who I really am. Sometimes I am afraid I will be discovered for who I really am. I have often felt I am in my present position or academic program through some kind of mistake. I have often felt I am in my present position or academic program through some kind of mistake. When I'm in spaces with other people who do what I do, I feel like I don't belong. When I'm in spaces with other people who do what I do, I feel like I don't belong. I often feel I am concealing secrets about myself from others. I often feel I am concealing secrets about myself from others. Okay, so they are all the statements, and I want to give you a moment just to tally up where you've got to with those statements. So remember, the lower the score, the more you are potentially suffering from imposter syndrome. The higher the score, the less likely you are suffering from imposter syndrome. Now, this isn't a inconclusive, test. This is just to give you an idea. It might be that some of these statements just don't ring true for you, and that's okay. Actually, some of the strategies that I'm about to share with you will probably still work. In other ways, the stories that we tell ourselves, it might not be that we don't feel like, we don't believe that we deserve the praise for the success that we're having, or we're as good as what people are saying. But it might be that we don't believe we're allowed to have the version of success that we want. It might be that we don't believe that we're going to achieve the level of success we want. It might be that we don't feel as though we are good enough to achieve the level of success that we want. It might be that we believe that we will never be able to create the joy and the freedom and the passion in our business that we are so desperately craving, because it all just feels so heavy and hard right now. And so all of these strategies that I'm going to share with you will help with all of those things as well. But just before we talk about these strategies, I have got 10 on here, 10 that I want to share with you. Some of them are quite similar to each other. Some of them are quick things that you can do. But I want you to understand that you can't ever get rid of it. as much as we would love to, imposter syndrome isn't something that you can just remove. It is managed. The goal is always to manage. It's to realign perception with reality. So it's to be able to move through it, to not let it affect us, to be able to just, be here and take up space and stop shrinking ourselves because we're so in our own heads about it all. So the first strategy I'm going to share with you, these aren't big, long strategies, so make sure you're taking notes as we do this. I actually didn't put this on a slide because I wasn't going to do slides. And then I decided, which is why I've just kind of very quickly caught up with them. So these are some of the thoughts that you might have, that come up. But so some of the strategies, so the first strategy is the one that I shared before already. So naming it, being able to catch it, acknowledging it. So being able to say you could be as blatant as, this is imposter syndrome, and just naming it for what it is. Or if you wanted to get more specific, this is a story that I've been telling myself. This is a belief. It's not a fact. This is, what is the thing that is coming up in your mind? If it is why should anyone listen to me? Name that. It's just a story. It's just a story I'm telling myself. You don't have to name it, label it. It doesn't have to have a label. It's just calling it out, noticing it, being aware of it, bringing awareness to it. Because when you are able to do that, it weakens it. You're calling it out, you're stopping it in its tracks before it has time to take hold of your body. So that is the first strategy. Simply just naming it, naming and shaming it, and being no, you're not going to have a hold of me. I am going to, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out on this. Why should anyone listen to me? Well, here, look, this is why they should listen to me. I know this, and this. And even if you're not so ballsy as if to say I know this, you could be I studied for blah, blah, blah. I have got this qualification, just list the evidence. Somebody said this to me. I have got all these testimonials from my clients, just name it. Okay. Number 2, which leads on actually to number 2, is documenting your achievements. So I spoke to somebody yesterday actually about this, and it's something that I share with all my clients. So you may or may not know this, depending on where you are in my world, where you're seeing this training. But talking about keeping a record of your accomplishments, any praise you get, any moments of competence, and really just recognizing. So this could be as simple as a wins diary, literally listing at the end of your day your wins, what went well for you. It could be as simple as keeping all your testimonials somewhere, maybe a folder on your phone where you can just easily look at it, a notes app, folder on your laptop. Pardon me, sorry. It could be both together. It could be that, so this is what I do with my clients, is at the end of the day, we write down 3 to 5 things of where you've experienced success in your day, where you have experienced progress from that success, where you have experienced effort, where you have seen effort because of the success, because of the progress, or just where you have put effort into your day, where you have excelled, where you've maybe done something a bit different. I also like to put in there any compliments I've received, I've given, good things that have happened, any moments of pure unadulterated joy that you've experienced throughout the day, and just really just keeping a record of that, so that when that wanky wobble comes in, because it will, it absolutely will, then you've got somewhere where you've got proof. And actually what happens is, if you do this daily, and this is science, this is neuroscience backing this up, if you do this daily, you will start to look out for these things, therefore you will get more of them. It's your reticular activating system, activating system doing its job. It is literally looking out for the things that you are putting focus on. Where you focus, what you focus on grows. What is that saying? Focus, I don't know what the saying is. Anyway, but what you focus on, you'll see more of. So if you focus on the bad stuff, you're going to see more bad stuff. If you focus on the good stuff, you're going to see more good stuff. It's like when you buy a new car, right? It's suddenly everywhere. When you buy a new dog, everyone's suddenly got a bloody cockapoo. we've got a cockapoo. Yeah, so it's all of those things, and it works exactly the same in your business, in your life, in your things that truly matter to you. Stop concentrating on the bad. So the third one is to reframe your mistakes. So if you are making mistakes, okay, I want you to think of them like mistakes aren't inadequacy. It's not that you're not good enough. It's not that you don't know what you are doing. It's that, they're feedback. Mistakes are feedback. That is it. Maybe it was just maybe that you need more sleep. Maybe you need more food. Maybe you need more exercise. Maybe you need to take a break. Maybe you need to learn a bit more about what you're doing. Like, it's all just feedback. We are humans at the end of the day. We are going to make mistakes all the time. And it could be as simple as, you haven't taken a break from your work for a while. You need to take a break. Like when you're driving a car, you can't be driving when you're really tired. You make more mistakes. You need to take a rest. So number 4 is talking about it. Again, the butterflies keep flying past my door. It's very pretty. So number 4 is talking about it. So this is like such a simple thing, right? But a problem shared is a problem halved. And it's always going to make us feel so much better once we have got it off our chest. Or, as I say to my clients as well, voice note about it. Or talk to Claude about it. Like literally just blurt it out somewhere. Get it out of your head. Stop ruminating it in your head and just get it out. Talk to me about it. Come into my free community. Share it in the free community. It's called Unedited for a reason. Like, I don't want my ladies in there to edit themselves. I want them to speak from their hearts, to speak from their truths, so we can all support each other. This is what business is for, right? Like can be a lonely game when you are at your laptop all day and you don't speak to anyone. So talk about it. Sharing your feelings with your peers or your mentors often reveals that others feel the same way. You will understand very, very quickly that you are not the only one, and you can help each other out of that situation. Number 5 is simply separating feelings from facts. So when you're telling yourself, I'm a fraud, where's the evidence to support that? Where's the evidence to back that up? Because you're not a fraud. It's a story that you're telling yourself. It's not a fact. It's not a fact. If you were a fraud, you would have evidence to back that up, and you wouldn't be a very nice person. Sorry to say. Okay, so number 6 is to adjust your expectations. Again, quite a simple thing, but something that we very often don't do. So instead of aiming for perfection, right? This is going to hit hard for those perfectionists out there. Perfectionists. We're going to aim for excellence instead. So we're going to aim for just getting it right, not getting it perfect. Getting the value across without being perfectionist about it. Number 7 is one of my favorites, and this is what is going to help you to make it stick and to make it last longer term, especially in situations where you feel it regularly. So number 7 is all about tracking those triggers. So thinking about what situation are you in when you feel it the most? What are you doing? Who are you with? Where are you? And really just taking note of that, maybe just putting it in your notes app, speaking it into your phone, transcribing it, putting it into your notes app, whatever feels good for you, just really tracking those triggers. So notice when those feelings of doubt arise. Notice when you're feeling as though you're not good enough, or that you don't belong there, or that you feel like an imposter. Like all of these things, whether it's in meetings, presentations, I don't know, like if you go to the gym with a group of people, like who are you with when these feelings come up? What are you doing when they come up? And where are you? Because when you are able to track these things and create awareness around these things, then we can change those things, right? Maybe it's people that we don't need to be around because they're not making us feel good. Maybe it's things that we're doing, maybe we could do them a different way, in a way that is going to bring more joy and more love to our business. Maybe it's what was the other thing? People, places, and things that we're doing. So if there's like a place, like maybe it's somewhere you can avoid going if it doesn't make you feel good. So the next one, number 8, is about seeking an unbiased assessment, which I think is quite an interesting one. So this is someone, like if you were to have someone that you love, someone that you trust, someone that really knows you and how hard you've worked and how much you've sacrificed, and just asking them, like, can you please give me a realistic assessment of what I have achieved? Like what you think I have achieved? Like in your eyes, how do you see me? Because sometimes, we're so close to our work, to ourselves, we're so in our own heads, it's really hard. And getting someone else, is someone who's really, really close to us, to tell us their perception of us, can really, really help with that. So we have two more. So I told you there were lots and lots and lots to go through. So I hope that you've taken notes. But of course, you can watch this back on the replay when you want to, when you've got time. Or just rewind this bit and do it again. So the other, number 9, is like, we're going to call it like the what if. So very often, right, just give you a bit of context. Our brains have a 60% negative bias. And it dates back to the caveman days. And, just it's trying to keep us safe. So it's looking for danger, scans for danger. So we're always going to have this like imbalanced bias of negativity, which means that we have to be 3 times more, what's the word? We have to, it's just escaped my brain. So intentional. We have to be three times more intentional with our positive like statements, affirmations, optimism. Some people are naturally more optimistic, but I believe that they've probably worked on that along the way. Or maybe they haven't had the conditioning that so many of us have had that have led us to be more, what if it all goes wrong? So the what if is, like, for example, what if it all goes wrong? Really just flipping that. If you hear that in your mind, what if it all goes wrong? What if they find me out, blah, 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 like switching it. What could be the positive version of that? So what if it all goes wrong? What if it all goes right? What if they find me out? What if they find out I'm fucking amazing? Like, there's always a positive, what's the word? Like a positive opposite to whatever you're saying to yourself. And the what if is really good, because if you've got a story of like, I'm not good enough, I'm not clever enough, and then you switch it to like, I'm fucking amazing, I'm really, really clever, like, the complete opposite. It's really hard for our bodies and our brains to adjust to such an extreme difference. But when it's a what if, it's a question. So the difference is, because you're asking your body a question, it's not too far from, it's not like a massive extreme. It's just like a curiosity. You're sparking curiosity. Because you can't be, what is it they say? Like, you can't be fearful and have gratitude at the same time. You can't have like fear or self-doubt and be curious at the same time. So when you can change your thoughts and your feelings to curiosity instead, everything starts changing. It's like, oh, but what if this all goes right? Like, what is waiting for me on the other side of this? What if they find out that I'm fucking amazing? Like, oh my God, that's going to change everything. And the final one that I want to share with you is a breathing exercise. And this is really like, if you feel yourself kind of spiraling into this deep, heavy imposter place, where you're just like, oh, I can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, I want you to just try this grounding breathing exercise. And it's the 5 senses one. And I love it. And I think like it's so effective and it's so simple. And I use it with my kids as well, because it's so brilliant and fun at the same time. But it really is just like, you can make it up. Like, you don't have to remember what it is, but you can make it up. So it's like 5 things you can hear, 4 things you can see, 3 things that you can touch, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. So you can mix it up. So it could be 5 things you could touch, 4 things that you could hear. You know, like, you get the drift. Like, you don't have to remember which senses order it is, but just go through your senses, your hearing. I don't need to tell you this. What you can see, what you can hear, what you can taste, what you can smell, and what you can touch, and go through 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and list them. Because what that's going to do is that's going to anchor you into the present moment. It's going to get you into the here and now and bring you back to reality. It's going to get you out of your head, and it's going to get you into your body and into the present moment. And so it's very, very effective when you feel as like, if you're suffering with anxiety, it's really good. Like, if you're feeling really stressed out, it's really good. Like, it's so good and so useful in so many different things. So I'm just going to take a breath, because I feel like I've just been word vomiting at you, but I really hope it's been useful. I love this stuff, as you might be able to tell. I have got 100 more things in my back pocket of things that we can do, things that you can do. Like, there's just so many different tools and techniques to this stuff. And a lot of it is, you know, it's just learning that you have a choice, you have a decision. You don't have to sit in this uncomfortableness of however you're feeling in this moment and feeling as though, oh, it's just the way I am. Like, you have a choice. And these are some of the options that you can start with. But remember what I said about, you know, like, our beliefs are stories that we've been telling ourselves for years and years and years. And it's not going to be like a quick fix. There's some NLP techniques that we can do to really help propel you on this journey, which I do a lot in my 6-month container, because they are so powerful, and we have the time in there to be able to explore and just see kind of what works for you. But yeah, it's all very powerful. So I really hope this training has been useful for you. You've enjoyed it. You've got lots from it. I just want to share with you, because I think I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't share this with you. I will be talking about this in all of my trainings because I love it so much. This is a 6-month program that I have poured my heart and soul into. It's we work through all of this stuff in my container. We also work on things like people-pleasing, boundaries, self-critical thoughts. We basically work on all of the stories that you tell yourself as to why you can't have the business and therefore the life that you want to create. So I used to call myself the inner critic ninja. I'm very good at catching these thoughts and changing them and helping people to rewrite the narrative of which they live by, rewrite the story that they want to create for themselves, to nip this in the bud now, to understand like what's been holding them back now, and to rebuild from there. So we find these stories, we rewrite the narrative, we rebuild the trust within yourself. We really like uncover the version of you who's been hiding under all of the roles and the shoulds and the expectations of other people for years. I'm just going to have to pause this. So, of course, the postman just knocked on the door, but I'm back. And I just wanted to share, you know, we uncover the version of you before all the shoulds and the expectations and the roles that we've put on ourselves. Many of us are mums, and it's so easy to lose yourself in that. That was definitely my story, losing myself. I built this business, not this business, my clay business. And I thought that's what I wanted. And I had my kids. It saw me through having my kids. And then I'd come out the other side and I had all of this time all of a sudden once they'd gone to school and nursery, childminders. And I was just like, wow, I don't want this anymore. And I didn't know what I wanted, and I didn't know who I was. And I just felt like I was just lost and lonely and isolated and all these horrible things. And now I'm building a business from joy, from love, from passion. And I want to help other women do the same. And so we uncover that version of you who has potentially been lost, bring the joy back, the creativity back. I use a lot of creative methods in my work that I do, and that's not to say that you need to be creative, not at all. You do not need to have any creative spark within you. We will bring that out through lots of fun and play and joy. And then I just want you to rebuild the trust within yourself so that you remember who the fuck you are and what you want. And then we rebuild your business around that version of you. So I've been in business for 10 years. I know a thing or two about building businesses, and we apply that into the 6-month container. And we really start to, once we've uncovered that, who you want to be, we start to look at things differently. We start to look at your business differently and actually what's possible in your business. And it might be that you've been following this trajectory of what you think your business should be. But when we uncover those parts of you that you have been unintentionally hiding, and there's always layers to come out. I've found some more of mine earlier, like this at that retreat I was talking about, that I didn't understand were waiting to come out. I thought that they were part of my teenage years, but they are in full throttle back now. And so we start to look at how we can bring more of her, more of you into your business going forward, and we build the strategies around that to make that possible. So essentially we work together, like it says, to stop you shrinking yourself in your business so that you can show up, get visible, and get paid. And this is £333 a month for 6 months to work with me. So you get you get a call every 3 weeks. So there's enough space in between to be able to digest and like process and things that are coming up for you. In that time, you get me in Telegram so that you can ask me any questions that come up. You like whenever as well. It's not like one day a week, that you can access me whenever, and I will get back to you within school hours. And then you have a portal where things like this will be sitting. So all these trainings that I'm running will be in the portal for you so that you have that as well, additional training as well in there. But of course, like the real work is the work that we do one-on-one, because that is the personalized work. We help you get clarity on what's been going on for you, the stories that you've been telling yourself. We create the vision for you that you want in the future, and we start closing that gap and bringing it closer to you to make it possible, because the success you want isn't that far away when you can start telling yourself the right things, the right stories, the right narratives, and you really, really fully understand who you are and what you can bring, and rebuild your business from that place. So I hope this has been useful. I would love to know your scores. If you scored yourself with these statements, please come into my community. The community link, if you're not already on there, is on the thank you page from this, where you hopefully are probably watching this. So just pop into the community, come and share your scores, come and share like any wins, any takeaways, anything that you found interesting, come and share it in there. And of course, if you want to speak to me about her fuck you era, then DM me on Instagram or ping me over a Telegram or send me an email, whatever is best for you. I will always be here to support you. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And I will see you soon.